Hey, it's Tpok, and I'm in a new visual novel called Leaves. Really have no idea what it's about, but it was free, so I was like, hey, why not? It's also pretty old. 8 years old, so let's get into this. It's written somewhere that time heals all things. A man much wiser than me wrote those words, no doubt, if there's any truth in them. It isn't up to me to find. I have enough trouble finding my way in a world like this. Why should one hand clapping have a sound? And why must one tree falling have to beg its audience for a sound? Any sound will do to call its own. I don't know about any of that. So let me tell you of what I do know. Of things that happen and things that don't. Of voices too young to be burdened with the gigantic weight of sex and frustrated longing. Of laughter tinkling like the hands of rain before twilight's curtain call. Of morning to evening to morning again. It was the beginning of autumn. The days were still long. The park was awash with the trailing skirt of summer's heat. There were 3 of us, 2 girls and a boy. We spent the entire day there, already playing in the sandbox. 3, an odd number, lonely. 3 little people playing their little games in their little walled garden of sand. There were other children playing on the swings and jungle gyms. No, used to be. Other children had parents who called them home. Other children had a curfew. We had curfews too. We simply chose to stay in that sandbox with each other. We simply chose to ignore the grown-ups and their world of rules and laws. Come on, Tuka, it's no fair, no fair. I'm not gonna be a girl. Shut up, you big baby. I don't know who's talking. Everything's fine and dandy, fair and square, no ifs, ands, or buts. That was the girl on the cover. Fair and square, no way, liar. I called it. Tomohiro, you dimwit. Now quit your belly aching. I don't care, that's still no fair. Yeah, I was such a wuss back then. She used to just walk right on over me. She was holding a plastic doll of a handsome man in one of her hands. She shook that in my face. Then with her other hand she pointed at the Barbie doll that I was holding. I'm Ken, you hear, you big cryberry Tomohiro? Go on, wuss, cry for your mommy now. Or if you want to be cool like me, then shut up and play. So I'm Tomohiro, I guess. I took a step back at her outburst. I'm no freaking crybaby, why do you always have to be this way, Tuka? You big meanie, you bully? Bully, you say? Just stop trying to make yourself feel better. You big baby, I saw you bawling your eyes out when Takeshi started making fun of you a while back. You can't even defend yourself, and you call yourself a man? Stop it, you know it's not like that. Not like what, sissy? Now you're making me laugh. I don't think I saw it at all, moron. You don't think I saw it at all, moron? All shaken and teary-eyed? You can't fool me, crybaby. Look, really, it's not like that. My eyes were, they were just itchy. I had sand in my eyes. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Look, I swear. The second girl hadn't said a thing the entire time. She just stood there up until now, pretty as ice in her white dress. She took a tiny step forward. When her foot touched sand again, nothing had changed. There was still arguing. The sandbox was the same rude, broken-down affair. But she stood apart. She was there with us for sure. But she was also somewhere far above our heads. That much was clear even then. Look, I'm not gonna be Barbie. I'm not a girl. Come on. Shut up and play. You're Barbie. I'm Ken, and that's final. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No way, it's not. Yes, way it is. No way it's no way it's not, no way it's not, no way it's not, times a million. Yes way it is. Yes way it is, yes way it is, yes way it is, times a million billion cajillion. What? What did you just say? Times a million billion cajillion? That's so messed up. You're wrong, Tpok. That number is fake. It doesn't even exist. Quit being such a dummy. You know the number's real. A million billion cajillion. There, I said it. And it doesn't exist. You're lying, Tpok, or you're monumentally stupid. Which one is it? You don't know anything. The girl clad in white took another step towards the two of us as we argued. There was a little bit more urgency in her footfall this time around. She still remained silent. Her feet were the same as ours, grimy, sprinkled with sand. But above that, from her ankle to her knees to her thighs, they disappeared up her skirt. Pure and pale, almost painfully so, as alabaster. Baster, I don't know that word. Oh, and did you have any proof? Show me, show me. Of course I have proof. It's obvious, isn't it? For crying out loud, you said the same thing to me a couple weeks ago. Oh, really? When? You gotta tell me. At what hour of the day on what year did I ever say something like that? Where's your proof, huh? Hey, that's not fair. Then you're lying, you big cryberry. Cryberry again. Crybaby? So you're totally pathetic after all. Crybaby, cryberry, liar, liar. Why? Why? You, I've freaking had enough of you. That's it. That's it. That's it. You're dead. I grabbed her hair, yanked hard, so hard that she stumbled, and lost my footing as well as we both tumbled onto the ground. Ow, that hurt, you big meanie. What's the big idea, huh, Tpok? Shut the hell up. We started rolling on the ground, kicking and screaming and clawing at each other. We went on fighting. We never heard the cicadas singing in chorus. We never heard the dying sun paint its last moaning protests against the coming of night. If we just stopped, would we not have felt how peaceful and empty the day had become? Would we not have shuddered at the rise of the stars? Because there was no one else around. We didn't care about any of that. We just kept scuffling, kicking, and screaming. If some adult were there watching us, he might have found it charming, quaint, carefree. But if you'd asked us, we'd have told you there was nothing charming or carefree about it. I can see clearly now that there was no victor in the cruel things we said and did in the name of play. To survive was all. I wonder, after all these years, if she was the first to see it. Maybe she saw the truth all along, while we were busy name-calling, fighting over dolls, things like that. Because she glided towards us, regally, like a princess gracing the land with her very presence. We didn't notice her approach. She looked up at the sky. It was ablaze in orange and pink. She looked down at us where we were locked in the sand, rolling around and struggling. Then she opened her mouth and said, "Tomiro, Tpok." We were so startled that we stopped what we were doing and looked up at her. And what we saw took our breaths away. She held out one little soft hand and motioned for us to get up. I sheepishly untangled my hands from Tpok's hair, and Tpok, for her part, let go of my cheeks. "It's getting so late, so come, both of you. It's time." Tpok and I just stared up at her, dumbfounded. So she continued. "It's going to get dark before long, you know, so please." She gave us a smile. I don't know what effect it had on Tpok, but I know what it did to me. It made me want to curl up in a ball and cry. There was something so ancient about it, like that of a world-weary traveler who had been rudely awakened by playing children. For a moment, none of us said a thing. The two of us spoke her name in unison, Matsuri. Only she could have such an effect on us. There was something so wonderfully calming, so adult about her. but we were blind. We couldn't see it, Tpok and I. We never understood that there was something about her, that she was absolutely special, that someone should have done something, anything, to protect her. To protect that something within her that made her different from everyone else in the whole wide world. But we were too rough and tumble, and our hands were too weak, so we remained in the dark. So too were we in the dark about the fact that we were, each of us, unique, that we were all different from everybody else in the whole wide world, that no one on Earth was a carbon copy of another, that even identical twins were different inside. It would take us a long time to get there, and when we finally did, there would only be two of us left. It was a lifetime ago. We still had notions about good guys and bad guys, comfortable things like that. It was too easy to see in black and white. We didn't know anything, and we believed in everything. Why, I wonder now? Why could we not see? Were we really so blind? Did our hopes really give us such pride that we thought we could walk through the killing fields of life and not be stained by the experience? For we were fated to walk alone, each of us trapped in our locked-down, screwed-up lives, until we all let it go. A lifetime ago. Chapter 1: Smoke Signals. When I woke up, I was blind. Well, not really. My eyelids did feel kind of glued shut. I was still tired. I heard the rustling of cloth to my right, very close to me. Warmth, too. The soft warmth of a woman's body filling my every pore. It felt so comforting. Almost as if I were a kid again. I blinked once, twice, and finally managed to open my eyes. I couldn't feel my right arm at all. I thought I'd slept on it or something like that. I turned to look and realized that, yeah, there was someone sleeping on it. Great. I hated it when things turned out this way. What was I supposed to do? Much more of this and my arm was going to fall off of its own accord. I wanted to snatch it back, deprive my companion of her pillow, and massage some feeling back into it before it was too late. The problem was, she was still asleep. Now what? I looked down at her. Her eyes were shut, and her face expressionless, like a saint who had just attained enlightenment, or a zombified corpse. I waited for a moment, then jerked violently to free my arm from its prison. It swung free, all right, in a swift and painful arc straight into the bedpost. I cursed under my breath, and promptly heard a soft outburst of giggling from my supposedly sleeping companion. Oh, her eyes were still closed, all right, but that grin on her face, the way she was shaking, she'd pulled a fast one on me. Tpok, I began mildly enough, have you been awake this entire time? Apparently, that just did it. She totally lost it at this point. I hadn't even finished the sentence when the floodgates opened and peals of uncontrollable laughter just burst forth from her lips. Oh. Hello. Gotta give it to you, Tomohiro. You're so silly. Damn it. You're so easy to read, darling. There, it's all good, okay? Easy to read. What do you mean? Come on, Tomohiro, it doesn't take a freaking rocket scientist to figure you out. You've been making some pretty funny faces for a long time now, and your hand's been trembling this entire time, I swear. What the hell? Could you stop? I can't... I'm assuming... I'm just gonna say, I'm not censoring anything at the moment. But I don't know if I should. Where are her nipples? I'm assuming they're under her arm, but proportionally does not look right. Oh, honey, not hell, but heaven. Your fault, you know. You were drunk and you forced me to use your arm as a pillow. Look who's talking. If memory serves, and it does, you forced me. And since I'm a nice guy, I let you go ahead. Oh, really? When? You gotta tell me. At what hour of what day on what year did I ever say something like... Sorry, I'm just joking. Thanks for lending me a hand. Literally. Tpok got out of bed, naked as if it was the most natural thing in the world. Her slender, almost boyish form glistened in the morning sun. Her small, softly rounded breasts swayed gently as she moved, while Tpok herself looked almost radiant in the fine warmth of the day. The room around her was anything but. In fact, it was a disaster zone. There was filth and squalor wherever I looked. Trash on the floors, stains on the ceiling that had probably been there for decades, and spidery cracks all over the walls. There were yellowed scraps of tape in random places, left over from posters and calendars that previous inhabitant had put up, no doubt. Tpok stretched slowly, and then started to put on some clothes. I just sat there and watched her. Hey, she said, blushing. Will you stop peeping, please? Quit embarrassing me like that. Say what? I managed unsurprised. She made a face. Just do what I say, okay? Come on, be a good boy and look in the other way. I hate to break this to you, but, you worry about the strangest things, I said with a sigh. And look, I spent the entire night fucking your brains out, just in case you don't remember. There isn't much to be embarrassed about at this point. See, that was just the thing. It wasn't like yesterday night was the first time we'd had sex either. We'd been seeing each other for quite some time, and obviously she had no problem prancing in front of me naked early in the morning, just as she demonstrated so gloriously a few seconds ago. So why was she, getting hung up on this, of all things? She didn't say anything, so I continued. If you're really so worried about that, why don't you just wrap yourself in a towel or something? Screw that, silly, she replied. You really think that'll help matters? Of course not. And besides, I'm willing to bet you're getting a hard-on just thinking about it, uh-huh. Sorry, not giving you the pleasure. Maybe some other morning. No, that's not what I had in mind. I don't care what you had in mind, okay, Tomohiro? Just look the other way. The stubborn way she was arguing with me this morning really brought something to life inside me. Something ugly and mean-spirited, but something I couldn't resist, so I made plans. Fine, how about your way, I began. I guess I have no choice. That's right, now be a good boy for just a bit, okay? She replied. She gave me a smile and then turned away. I averted my eyes, alright, but I also reached out with both my hands and took a hold the towel that Tpok hastily wrapped around herself. I bit back a sadistic laugh, you know, the common to dirty old men and psychopathic serial murders, and pulled. The towel slid right off her body. Even from behind, I could see the surprise ripple through Tpok's face and her breasts. Good God. Good. She was so shocked for a moment. She stood stock still. See? I jeered. Isn't that so much more comfortable? No point in wrapping yourself so tight. You'll find it hard to breathe. She didn't say a word in reply. So I said, oh, come on, you brought this on yourself. You, she managed. Perverted. Filthy. What's the matter? I stammered. That's it. I hate you. Tomo, here, you stupid fucking moron. Whoa. Tpok whirled and pushed me with all the strength she had. I lost my balance. I stumbled into a bedpost, hard, and fell to the ground shoulder first, even harder. Did you just pass out from that? There was a horrible crunching sound. At first I wasn't sure if it was the floor or my skull. Empty takeout containers and stray sheets of paper went flying everywhere. My head bounced on the half-filled beer can, causing the thin metal to creak and crumple. Ow. Not fair, I moaned. I was face down on the ground by now. I sounded pitiful. I'm pretty sure I looked even more pitiful. Everything happened so fast that nothing really seemed real. except for the fact that it hurt like hell. Well guys, this is interesting to say the least so far. I like the kid part beginning. Not so sure what I feel about it right now. It's kind of weird. But yeah. Right now it's kind of reminding me of Lord of the Flies a little bit. With the whole, we were in the dark when we were children, and then, yeah. Anyways. I worded that in the worst way possible. And I'm sorry. But thanks for watching. And I'm gonna play some more of this, I think. So, yeah. I'll see you next time.